And we've started.
Okay, hello.
Silly Conversations, the podcast. Your host, Denzel Mills. Podcasting people. It's me and somebody else. And they've given me their time only for a small amount of money. Now, Paula, okay, we've known each other only recently, and she does super fantastic things, which she'll tell us a little bit about. But first of all, Paula, introduce yourself to the podcasting world and the 11 subscribers that I have.
Hello, 11 subscribers, and hello, Denzel. I'm Paula. I'm here today to talk a little bit about what I do, but I'm going to summarize a little bit first. I'm working on Thecotech, and I'm in charge of the trade marketing, and it consists on one side on the events. That is what Denzel has see on me the most. We do corporative events and also social events of the brand. And we are also in charge of the communication in the point of sale. So if there's a new launch of a product, we try to communicate then on the point of sale, on our distributors, and also on our own magazine. And this is what I do summarize, but it's really a mess.
Well,
But
hang on a minute. I mean, it's not a mess, and that's probably one of the best summaries I've had from anybody. Seriously, it's one of the best summaries. But let's go back a little bit. So you said trade marketing. I pretend I know a lot. To be quite honest, I know nothing, but I pretend very well. So, in general terms, what's trade marketing in general?
for me, trade, because there are different meanings and different point of views about trade marketing. For me, the trade marketing is like we are like the intermediary between the commercial department and the marketing department. We are like we take the commercial, the salesman opinions of what they see that it's needed on the market for selling more about this thing, or there is an issue with a product and the people don't understand something about the product, and they tell us, and then we take this demand and we do it like creative and also like understandable
Hmm.
for the marketing department. That is the one that does the creativity and the graphics for making the different pieces of production. Also make these pieces to be in the magazine and in the point of sale. So we are also managing the production and the different budgets for making this to happen.
So, with my 11 subscribers, would you be the person that I would need to talk to if I wanted to like expand and add, for example, merchandise, or
Yeah,
I wanted to expand to other regions and maybe even other planets? You'll be the kind of person I'll talk to, yes?
yeah, it could be one of the persons in charge of it. We do a lot of merchandising.
Hmm.
That's okay, but also it's more like making people understand the products and wanted to buy them on the point of sale.
Because you're talking about then physically when you said the
Yeah,
the point of sale, ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen, I'll just introduce something for you because the point of sale is basically where people like you and me, the general customer, goes into the shops and see
yeah.
things. Tell
It's a
me I
shop.
don't know anything. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about on the digital side? For example, because this and the Amazons and the websites, the other websites, is it the same kind of thinking or strategy, or you have to kind of think completely differently?
We need to think differently because of timings.
Hmm.
Because on the digital side, it is easy to do a change of a price, of a product, of a message, or send to your client something them to know about this product. But the offside side, that is what we do, is different because you need like to think before and to do many steps for do this communication.
Right.
You need to do a briefing, to marketing design, to do a briefing for your producer, or your supplier, then do a prototype, and then produce it, send it to the shops, and place it. So we need to work before, and it's not so easy and so quickly as a digital.
So, which one, if for you as a personal choice, which do you prefer? Either for because it's more artistic, because
Mhm.
it's less headache in terms of the people you need to talk to. Do you prefer more working on the digital side, or do you actually prefer what I understand is the trade marketing side with the actual shops and stores and the people around? Which one is your preference?
It's easier, the digital one, and you can like measure like
The impact.
the return and the impact easier. But I'm like a physical person, so I prefer to see it, and I feel prouder of me if I see the things. For example, in an event, you can see physically it how it was, and also go to the shop and say, "Oh, I did this." It's like I don't know. I want to touch it and see it.
But
And
then, now this is a question, okay? This is more a generic, general question.
okay,
You know, I've had ideas, okay?
yeah.
I've had
One
ideas.
idea is specific.
I've had ideas. And in work, not any specific company, but in work or the other jobs you've had, when somebody has like a really weird idea, how do you manage that? Because you're saying you're kind of in the middle ground and you have to try to help people make things a reality in the real world
Yeah,
and try to, I suppose, satisfy the needs of both sides or the
yeah.
vision of both sides. But when somebody comes to you with like a Denzel idea, okay, how do you manage that?
We need to reformulate it because okay, an idea could be good, but in terms of budget, can't be good. Or in terms of logistics, it happens many times. So we need to think about everything, about the budget, about the logistics, about the client is going to understand this with this idea, or
Hmm.
it's just because it's pretty or it's just informative, and also what impact is going to have this communication or this piece, because what we need what we want is this to buy or this to be understood. So we need to think about this and then how the client is going to receive this message.
But then, so if you say to Denzel Mills,
Mhm.
who wants to have this image or this view or this product
Mhm.
presented in some stores or something someplace physical,
Mhm.
and it's a bit weird, the idea. So
Mhm.
imagine, let me just think. One of my ideas, remember I talked about this idea of having a great big bouncy castle. It was un castillo hinchable, right? A
Mhm.
really great big one. Supposing I just decided to have a really great big yellow, because that's the logo of the podcast,
Yes.
yellow circular bouncy castle where people can go inside.
Okay.
And I suppose there's going to be a potential security issue,
Mhm.
possibly, because I would like this to be maybe, say, 24 meters tall. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Weird ideas. What's the skills that you think you would need to make me rethink this? How would you do it? I mean, the real world, how would you approach somebody like this who comes to you with this idea? And I say, oh, I want this to promote my podcast. And Paula, I want you to be the person to do it because I really think you got the skills.
Okay. First of all, we need to think what the client is going to have with this. Which value are you giving?
The value is that people get to jump up and down in a great big yellow circle
Okay, perfect. Okay.
for pure enjoyment.
Then how we are going to make the people get there. So you need to attract the people.
I will attract them via free English classes,
Okay.
and I cook Italian food. So just imagine free
Okay.
Italian food and English classes. Yep.
Okay. So we need like to have a plan and organize how the customer experience is going to be. For example, they can come, they have can have an English class. They go to jump to the castle before eating, because if not, it can be a mess.
That's a very good idea, actually.
And then having your pasta. And this will be like a dental experience. It's like having you in this,
In both forms, English teacher and Italian cook.
yeah, and also having fun. Free.
Exactly, which is what it's all about. How did you start in this whole world of marketing and publicity and events? Is it something that you always wanted to do, or was it a consequence of what you studied and little by little you ended up in this a role like this?
Yeah, it is a consequence. I studied international business.
Okay.
And I did also an MBA on international management,
Hmm.
and I loved it. But the part I loved the most of this management of a company was the part of the marketing. For me, it was like the most creative, the one that, as I told you, that the one that you can see it and you can feel proud about doing it.
But but in general, in life, in the things you like to do you consider yourself a creative person?
Yeah, I have good ideas, but I'm as creative as,
Oh,
mm,
you're very particular.
yeah,
So you want everything to be perfect
yeah,
and perfectionist.
perfect, organized, planned. So I have this both thing that I think it's really good for the part of events and the trade marketing.
Hmm.
And after studying, I started in a company, and I was in charge of the international strategy, taking this Spanish company outside. When I get there, I wanted to go outside, taking clients, taking suppliers, how to do this. I realized that it was not a coherent branding. So
So
without,
when you said outside, you mean like abroad to international market? Yes.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it was specific. It was France. We wanted to start with France, but I realized that the branding was like not coherent. We didn't have like a. It was a furniture luxury company, and we were not um like,
We didn't. You didn't have maybe the persona or the image of a luxury
yeah, like
company.
the image we were communicating was not looks, not artisan
Um,
handmaking.
yeah,
Sorry,
home or handmade. That's it. Yeah.
handmaking. So we need like to restructure this and rebrand the company to start entering to this market.
So I mean, obviously not just you, because I suppose you were working with other people, but to go to a CEO or the finance officer, the senior managers, and to say, even though you think you are international or you think you are a luxury company, the image you present externally
Mhm.
doesn't match with the thinking that you have.
Yeah.
That conversation, did people take it comfortably, or were they just kind of saying, "Woman, you are mad"?
No, they take it okay. We know, but we can't do it because we're focused on selling or producing, on having better systems on other things. But if you want and you can do it, for us is perfect. So
Okay.
that's where I started. I started doing the branding, the manual of the brand, and me and my colleague we redesigned the website, the catalogs, the communications. We started with the newsletters, with the social media, and we did like a coherent of all this thing marketing plan. And then we start this at the same time we were like selling and trying to get new clients on France.
But then trying to get into the French market. Now, I'm going to say this because I think the French are a little bit closed with everything, you know.
Yeah, they
Um, and I haven't got any French subscribers. So I can say
are. Mhm.
this. Yeah, I haven't got any. So the French are very close with their things. So how did you, first of all, do you speak French?
Yeah, I lived in
Oh,
France 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll come back to this.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Multilingual people multilingual woman here,
Mhm.
podcasting people. You then did all that rebranding. What was the difficulty between, say, I suppose, the Spanish
Mhm.
style of marketing and presenting themselves to a different country like France? What did you notice as differences?
What we realized is like the French market valued more the handmaking.
Oh
So
yeah.
we needed like to focus the message on this part. It was not, for example, made in Spain because
Mhm.
probably they won't like it, but it's made in Europe. It's handmade. It's sustainable. It's a long-lasting design, a long-lasting material. So we need like to not focus on luxury, on focusing on made in Spain. It must be like focuses on what they value. That was more the handmaking and the sustainability.
And this idea of then trying to take away a little bit of the focus of made in Spain or made in X country, because it's a family company or whatever, and you're saying no, to be successful in this case in France, we need to remove part of that identity, that feeling, that sentiment, and just get a little bit more open, not so as
the
Spanish.
identity the identity was the same because
Mhm.
then you read the history and it is from Spain, but
Mhm.
like the biggest message, not because Spain is in Europe, but it was like made in Europe. And then if you read, it was, we are a Spanish company, we are situated there. So it was not like hiding it,
Right.
but it was like reformulating the message.
Hmm. But do you
The,
find it difficult for people to accept that reformulation? Yeah, that's a nice word. Is it a word though? Reformulation? To reformulate. The change. That's a word. Do you, I don't know if reformulate is a word. Reformulate. It is. Anyway, the question is, do you find it difficult for people to accept that changing or that reformulation of information? Do you find it easy that companies accept this idea of maybe having to reformulate some part to get access to these markets?
it was the objective, and we realized talking with the clients that it was not like a plus to be produced in Spain, and they could have others that not from Spain with this product. So we realized that it was a point because for the Spanish people, made in Spain is a plus.
Yeah.
For the other country, it would be better made in France, but for sure it was not true. So it was difficult at the first time because, you know, like what you say, reformulate it without like hiding a little bit where you are, who you are.
Yeah.
But the objective was that. So we know we need to change many things if we wanted to go outside Spain,
Hmm.
because for the other people, the other countries, it is not important to be made in Spain.
Right. So then you were working with the French. How good is your French?
It's good. Yeah, sometimes I think, and I don't know why, I'm better in French
Ah,
than in English.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
ladies and
I
gentlemen,
think this is.
I was also her French teacher many years ago. But is it because you kind of used French in the real world, or you were just good
Yeah,
academically at studying and learning French, or is it because you used it in the real world?
yeah. I think it's because I interiorized it
Hmm.
more than English because I have never been living in an English language place
Yeah, speaking country. Yeah. Hmm.
in country. Sorry. And it was not a necessity, but in the part of France, I need it for living, for working. So I use it every day, every time.
Ah, so you were
So
so you were living in France for a while.
yeah,
Okay, and where did you live?
I live 1 year doing my Erasmus in Lyon, and it's true that there I use the French, but not a lot. So when I had the chance going back to France, I did it because I know the first time the it was not good for me to get better in English. So I had a second chance, And this one, I told myself, this time you need to learn French and be good at French. So let's do it.
Good.
So I
So as a person who's done Erasmus, because I don't really do a lot of work with like university people. I've done some work and I've helped people get their language levels. I say language levels as if I teach many other languages. Their English language level to do Erasmus. As a person who's done Erasmus, what was the, I don't know, what are the benefits? What are the things that you think are positives that you took from doing a Erasmus?
I think it makes you like moderate. Is this word?
Mature.
Mature yourself
Hmm.
as a person, because it's not the same being at home with your mother or being, I don't know, I'm from Castellón, living in Valencia, studying there, and then you are alone, far from home, and you need to manage everything on your own, the electricity, uh, cleaning, everything that does an adult, but as you are young, for you is new and in another language, and completely alone, because you can not go back home because you feel bad or you had a bad day,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
and
So,
that idea of the day to day things,
mhm,
like you said, the electricity or maybe a mobile phone or the shopping, because the French are famous for being very guarded, very particular about their language.
mhm.
This was my experience when I
No,
went
it's
to
true.
when I was in Montpellier.
Mhm,
Now, I was only there for a week and doing some stuff. And I found out, well, I was doing a little test. And my test basically was if you go into a shop and you automatically start speaking English, or you ask them, I only learned these words, parlez-vous anglais? They will
mhm,
automatically say no. And then and so you struggle trying to buy things.
mhm,
However, what I found out that if you go into into anywhere and then you try with the words that you know to order a coffee or buy some croissants
mhm.
or bread in French, they will see that you are absolutely destroying their language. And they will say, Anglais? And I said, yeah.
Yeah,
And they
that's
speak.
completely true. Completely true. Yeah, that's true. And we tried, and it was like what I told you, that I had a second chance.
Hmm.
It was that was the difficult part, because I tried to use it at the beginning. I had an Spanish pronunciation, so
Yeah.
they realized it and then changed to English or tried to talk you in Spanish, and it was like, I want to speak in French. Don't change it. I want to do it, but it was a little
All
bit
right.
difficult.
But then, because I suppose at a certain level, living there and doing the day to day things, were they then accepting that you were making errors and mistakes, but trying to communicate on the day to day things? Were they at least accepting that you were trying to communicate in French, even though you were making mistakes? Did they at least get what you wanted to say
Mhm.
to them? And
It depends on the people you get, on the
mhm,
place you went. But it's true that it happened to me, both things. The one that I tried to speak in French, it was bad, and they told, I don't understand you. What? I don't understand you. And what are you not understanding?
yeah,
I'm trying. But I think when you have a certain level, but you can have mistakes,
yeah,
they can understand you for sure, and they do a little effort on understanding you. But if you are not good
if
and
you
you
have
don't
big
know,
mistakes, you don't have to be
yeah,
polite. If you have
big
big
mistakes,
mistakes or terrible.
they ignore you, and they prefer.
So then this is not a case of just comparing French and British or the English because they never get on anyway. So it makes no difference. Taking that experience when you said making the effort to communicate in French, is it a similar thing you've experienced when you're trying to talk to people in English, whether it's been on holiday, work?
No, I think the English is more welcoming, and they try to help you I went in London, for example, and if I did some mistakes, oh, this is like, oh, you mean this thing, and they try to help. But the French people, in my case,
Yeah.
they just change in English, change to the Spanish, or they say that they don't understand you, or they don't understand you, and for example, give you another coffee you didn't order because
Right.
they didn't understand you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and that's one of the things, though. But I think, each, and we need to remember this because, living here in Spain, tourism is a very big thing. People make the effort and they understand. I suppose places like London, which are not part of the Brexit community, they will make an effort. Maybe there's
Yeah,
other smaller villages and places in England where people are a little bit more, well, not people are, well, yeah, people are more closed, less
yeah,
welcoming. But as a person learning the language, I think, you know, and using the language and continuing to learn, I think it's for us to try and make that effort and also not get um disheartened. I never use a word like disheartened. Gosh.
yeah.
Anyway, disheartened. Feel bad about, maybe making the effort and people not acknowledging that you make that effort. So then, so you speak French, and you said you think your French is maybe more interiorized and a little bit better than your English. At the
Yeah.
moment, do you use any of these languages, French or English, for work?
Only English. Yeah, but
Right.
it's true that we have also a site in France, and we
Okay.
have a salesman in
Mm.
France. And when I talk with him, we can talk in French, but
So you get
it's
to practice every now and again.
yeah, but we talk. I talk with them once a month, but it's just mailing. So
But would you consider moving country for a period of time and working abroad again? Because I mean, once people get a little bit settled, either a
mhm,
house, flat, partner, car,
mhm,
you've got certain expenses.
yeah,
um, it makes it a little bit difficult to maybe consider changing. But if it was something where probably you could get a guarantee that, okay, after 1 year or 2 years, you'll come
mhm,
back
yeah,
and things would be as they were, you'd still have an apartment, or if you've got a flat that you're paying a mortgage for, you can still pay for that, etc. Is it something that you would consider doing, working abroad for a year or a couple of years?
yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I would say no
Hmm.
because I have been 7 years far from my home, and I
Mhm.
wanted like to settle, to be at home with my family, my boyfriend. But nowadays, I would do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I know that it has an end day,
yeah,
I will do it. And it's true that my company Thecotec now has opened a place in Ireland. We have like another company there, so I told them, "Oh, if you need
you
somebody, that's
can't be going to Ireland, Paula. I mean, it's just rain and I mean, well, to be quite honest, these last few months in Valencia have just been
yeah,
a lot of rain. But you just have to wear Wellington boots all the time, those hunters. You'll be just
yeah,
wearing those for like 9 months of the year.
yeah." It will be depressive, but it will be a good experience for my English and for my international career.
Okay. So what's the future then? Because okay, you settled and you're happy where you are and the things you're doing, but would you consider at some point, or can you see yourself at some point working for yourself? Is that a possibility, or is something that doesn't enter your mind at the moment?
Possible in Spain is difficult.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I would love it like to create, I don't know if a communication agency or something like this as a consultancy or as a freelance to help other companies in their events or their point of communication. I would love it, but
Yeah.
the fact is that I need to work in this area more years to have like contacts, because
Right.
if you create something for the companies, you need to have contacts and to have companies that trusting you for starting working with you. And
Yeah.
there's a work to do before.
But in Spain in general, I mean, obviously, for sure, there's like event managers, etc. But
Mhm.
I don't know if there's a lot. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure if there's a good number of um, event management agencies in general, not just for music and things like this, like concerts,
Mhm.
but maybe in terms of these kind of big corporate events where
Mhm.
they hire these emblematic buildings, etc. Or maybe businesses don't invest in these type of events. I don't know which one, or is it a combination of both things?
It depends on the sector.
Hmm.
It's true that in Spain we have like the touristic sector or the technology sector that is investing in this branding, and also the fashion and the cosmetics sector. But we have also like the industrial sector for the fruits or ceramics that is in my area, and tiles that it's not the young sector, so they do not value the marketing and how this can be helpful for them to be new here and outside. So for me, it would be difficult because my place has these industries,
Right.
not the ones that value marketing. But I think many companies trust in others to make this thing, because it's difficult to have for example, in Fecotech, we have a enormous marketing department, but there are companies that can't have this and have a specific person just for their annual event, and they contract others for doing.
Yeah. Now, I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, because you said to me something once, just in passing. Did you plan somebody's wedding, a cousin or somebody's or somebody's wedding? 'Cause remember you
Yeah,
said to me, "Yeah, I'll do like wedding planning now."
yeah, yeah, yeah. My cousin married the 31st of December on New Year's Eve.
She got married on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's amazing. And now his husband dream was marrying on New Year's Eve.
All right.
And as I do events, for me this is normal. So
Yeah, but
they ask
Paula,
me.
one moment, one moment. So your cousin comes up to you and says, Paula, cause you know about organizing things. You've got this brain, these skills, etc. Have another drink, and we would like you have another drink. And we're getting married. Have another drink, and it's going to be on the 31st of December. Have another drink. Where there's probably nothing available. Have another drink, and will you do it for us? Have a bottle. And you then said yes.
No, it start. They told us that they were getting married. And I say, oh, if you need some help on the organizing and planning, I can help you,
So you offered, okay.
because I love organizing events. But it was the hardest event I ever do.
But first of
Just,
all, so what was it? Well, was it a big wedding? In details about how many people went to
no,
the wedding?
it was not about the people. It is, I don't know, 170 people. It is about what they wanted to do, because they are like, I don't know the word in English, like postureo. You know how?
So they kind of like to show. They like to be kind of
Yeah,
like to
they are
show off.
really
Yeah.
Instagrammer and like aesthetic.
Ah,
Everything.
yeah.
So they wanted like to aesthetic wedding with so many details that took time.
Right.
And they decided that they were going to marry in April, and the
Hmm.
wedding was in December. So we needed to work a lot in this small period of time.
Hmm.
And they asked for my help because they are two people that they don't like making decisions or making a task list. They are like,
Very
well,
easygoing.
yeah, chill. They are
Yeah,
chill.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you are a very responsible and organized person. So can you help us with this and helping us to making decisions and this tasks list? So I say, oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
This easygoing attitude
It was too easy going
almost
for you.
killed me. Almost killed me. It's
Have you ever seen, there was years ago, there was a film, was it Father of the Bride or something? And they had a wedding planner, and
yeah.
the guy, I think it was for Frank in English. Well, okay, you probably would have seen it in Spanish, but he had like this kind of weird accent. It was with actor's name Martin, something Martin, Steve Martin.
Maybe.
And it was this film, I think it was Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, and they had this
Mhm.
wedding planner, Frank. Okay,
Uh-huh.
who did this? The other thing is, because I know you're the person you work with.
Mhm.
She has. I've seen her take her notes, and I've seen her notebook where she notes everything down, and really kind of cool and organized. Are you kind of like the same notebook taker like Chris, or do you use an iPad, or is it all in your head? How do you work?
I work same as Christina.
Ah,
We
yeah,
love to do task
yeah.
to do list. Sorry, task list, and I love to do it on paper
Yes,
because
and this is the thing, because I remember the first time I saw Chris's, and she had this notebook, and every page was filled with notes, comments, this questions, little diagrams, things underlined,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a notebook, pen and paper. And
yeah, because
I mean, nobody uses pen. Well, a lot of people don't use pen and paper now, to be quite honest. And so it was quite of, for me, it was very refreshing to
Mhm,
see it, but then also to physically look at the pages and pages. Standard notebook with maybe 300 pages, and
mhm.
80% of them were actually filled with the things to
Tasks.
do, tasks, comments, questions that
Yeah,
need to be asked. So you're kind of old school in that way.
yeah. I love it because when I studied writing,
Yeah.
and it gets on my mind.
All right.
It's
Okay.
it's good to be remembered for me, and also as our our work is so changing, and you need like to update every day what you do. It's easier to do it by hand. You use some Tipex,
Yeah.
type, typing and
Tipex, Tipex,
Tipex. I don't know.
people, people. No, probably no one knows what Tipex is. I know what Tipex is, well, and you know what Tipex is. People, those who are listening. Well, actually, most of my 11 listeners are actually over a certain age group, so they do probably know what Tipex is. But if there are new people who are listening, go and find out what Tipex is. You'll be amazed. Paula, free time. I know you work very hard, and also with the traveling. So, what do you like to do when you do get some free time?
I would say to be quiet
Mm.
and read, but
And
the
sorry,
actual
the reading thing. Are you a physical book reader, or do you use like a Kindle or these kind of electronic books?
I was physical,
Hmm.
but last year for my birthday, I had an ebook, and it's really good. I
Yeah.
recommend it because my hands, when I was on the bed reading, it was heavy. Or if you want on the plane with
Well, I mean,
the
what kind of books are you reading which are so heavy?
yeah heavy
Encyclopedias.
ones. Yeah, heavy ones. And what was heavy to take them, and now with the Kindle, I love it, and I can read like in different positions.
And then, so in your free, so you like reading, which is something you like to do. What else?
Yeah, I was saying that I would love to say you that to be quiet at home, but the fact is I can't be doing nothing. I love to do many things.
Well, that's good.
I like cooking. I like going to the gym, doing Pilates, take a walk with the dog. Now we are reforming. No, I don't know.
Yeah, reforming, remodeling.
Remodeling the house. So I love to do creative things with my hands.
Hmm.
I don't know everything. What I don't know. I do many different things.
I mean, I do all those things apart from the gym and the Pilates and the exercise. I walk the dog when I'm looking after the dog. Hey, cooking
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
Oh, because at the time of recording, people, when this goes out, quite possibly the Winter Olympics has finished. And I've already did a little comment on curling, that sport that they play in the Winter Olympics, which is a podcast in the past. But in that podcast, I actually said I was going to make a Greek dish because
Mm-hmm.
I follow this Greek woman,
Mm-hmm.
not physically, people on online, and I made a vegan dish. You know, it was just with leeks and rice and some other vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay. It was okay. It was
Okay.
missing something, maybe like a Greek
Like,
touch. You know,
probably.
Paula. So you do all these activities, the cooking and various activities. Is Pilates, you said, and sports and walking the dog. What's this year hold for Paula? Do you have any particular plan for 2026? It could be career wise, it could be personal wise, traveling, etc. Do you have any kind of plan for 2026?
I have two plans. One of them is traveling more.
Okay.
So I took to travel for this year. One to Lisboa, and another one to Costa Brava for the
All
moment.
right. Yeah.
And I will also like to go to Paris to see my friends that are living there. And the other one is to do a course for Pilates instructor.
Right. That's cool. Well, first, Portugal, you'll like.
Okay.
You know, it just depends on what time of the year you go to Lisbon. It's going to be packed anyway, but you'll like it. And that walking you do with the dog will be good exercise for your legs.
Yeah.
And then the Pilates instructor. So I don't know, how long does it take to do the training?
The ones I'm looking for is like 4 months
Hmm.
every Saturday morning. So as I want to travel, I need like to organize for having 4 months free
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
Sunday. So I'm organizing how to do it at the end of the year, probably because now I have many plans of fallas and everything.
Right,
So
right. Well, podcasting people, because you know, here we've had a physio, we've had Mr. Mountaineer person, Mr. President Antonio, who does many, many things. And now we're going to have in the future a Pilates teacher. So I
yeah.
think when we go video, okay, when the podcast one day decides to go video, we can just basically introduce Get Fit with Get Fit with Silly Conversations. That's
Oh, good name.
that sounds very good. And obviously, and then Paula, you will be in charge of basically getting us that position
Okay.
online, digitally, and across all the platforms.
Perfect.
As always, and it's nice talking to people I've either worked with and people who feel comfortable speaking in English about their job and what they do. And in your case, we could have done it in French because my French is very good.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we could have done this in French, but I'm saving that for the next time because you will return and we will find out more about what you're actually doing. So I really appreciate the time you've given me. I really appreciate that you've talked and explained a little bit about what you do and your interests, because some people find it a little bit nerve wracking. Um, and really, it shouldn't be because here we're just saying to people, you use English, you're professionals, and you can use English for work and for pleasure. And it's just to express yourself and let people hear that we don't need to be like me in Spanish, 100% perfect to just talk about what we actually do and let people know and hopefully encourage people that if you got these doubts or worries professionally, yes, there are points when we need to be more professional
Mhm.
and you can work on that with practice. And there are times when we just need to make that communication over lunches and dinners and drinks and traveling. And of course, on probably the world's greatest podcast, which hasn't been discovered yet.
Yet.
Exactly. That's the key word, yet. I would imagine at some stage in the future, there'll be hordes. And when you say hordes, hordes is like lots and lots and lots of people. There'll be hordes of people in Castellón tuning in.
Yeah.
And when I do go to Castellón, I've only been to Castellón twice, I think.
It's not necessary to come.
Well, I went once. And this area, El Desierto de las Palmas?
Yeah.
Believe me, people, I don't want to get on the bad books of Castellón tourist board. But when I went, there was no Desierto and there was no Palmas.
No palmas.
So just think about it. But
The
anyway,
naming was a little bit wrong.
ambitious. That's the word we're looking for. The naming was very ambitious indeed. But Paula, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
And like I said, thank you very much for your time and the bits and pieces you kind of offered us here. And I don't know, nothing else really. So say bye to the 11 listeners and the other 4 or 5 who are going to join from Castellón for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll hear some more from you in the near future.
Thank you for having me here. And thank for the 15 new podcasters of this.
There will be. And you will also get your special podcasting gift.
Oh,
Exactly. Only those who have been on the podcast know about the special podcasting gift.
Oh, it's a surprise. So I waited this week for the surprise.
Well, actually, quite possibly, yes. It will be this week. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Podcasting people. This was another interesting conversation with a person who I think has a lot of energy, always has a bit of a smile on her face. I'm not too sure if she takes drugs or not, but anyway, she always has a nice smile. Okay. Very full of energy and I think always willing to help people out. So, Paula, as they say, au revoir.
Au revoir. À bientôt.
The voices and the names have been changed in this podcast to protect the wicked. For any grammar, information, or correction, please ask someone else, not me.